All right, Bay Mag. Today is Monday, October 26th. Welcome to the Dog Walk, presented by Barstool Sports. We got another snake draft. It's Halloween week, so we're bringing you a nice Halloween shit draft. Our guests today, actually, we're all on Zoom. We're with Smitty. Smitty, how we doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me. Big Halloween guy.
Are you a big Halloween guy? That was coincidental?
Big scary movie guy, more than Halloween.
Oh, that's good then. I didn't realize that.
So it's good.
It was kind of hard. I was looking on the bloggers list, and obviously we've been meaning to have you on anyways, but I had a hard time identifying someone who'd be the big Halloween guys. Do you have anyone that you'd think?
Well, I think there's a difference between big Halloween people and big, scary movie horror fan people. Like, Halloween people like to get dressed up, go out to bars, shake that tail, or whatever the kids say. Horror movie people, salt of the earth.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you guys have anyone that you would think is like a fucking Halloween person? I don't know.
Well, I think I'm constantly reminded of that scene in Mean Girls where Lindsay Lohan shows up to the Halloween party and she dresses as the very serious, vampire with like the blood all over her face, and she goes in there and all her friends are dressed like sluts. Like, I think you can be all over the board on Halloween. It's kind of just like, it really is up to the individual. But as far as like hardcore Halloween people at the office, it's you.
Yeah,
you like scary movies and you like costumes.
Yeah, I do. I think Halloween, for my bet, like obviously all the drinking holidays are fun. Like 4th of July, I love. I consider that a drinking holiday. St. Patrick's Day is really fun, but I like Halloween because it's like, I don't know, it could be a nice little wrinkle when you see something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know Chief probably hates it.
Hate it. Not a Halloween guy. This is going to be maybe my worst category ever. So
you just wear a ref jersey and you go out and say you're a ref, don't you? You fuck.
No, I usually come out and try to do something last minute. It's just not my thing. I'm not a Halloween guy.
You know who was the biggest Halloween person by far at Barstool? Rest in peace. Was Tall Mo. Tall Mo.
Oh, was he?
Every year came out with like a really, really good costume. There was one year where he was the uncle from Breaking Bad in the wheelchair. I mean, just absolutely knocked that costume out of the party.
Did he have a wheelchair?
He had a wheelchair. He had a bell. Played the part well.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That would be great because then you don't have to you're just sitting down all day. You don't have to talk to anybody. You just ring your bell. Like that serves multiple purposes. That's a great fucking costume.
Yeah, every year he brought the heat. God bless that man.
Whitesoxdave, how we feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm surprised that nobody brought this up, but I wouldn't at the same time expect any of you. I mean, I am the biggest Halloween person in this draft strictly by default.
Birthday Dave.
Why? Because you look like a gnome?
No, because it's my birthday.
Oh, so two parts.
It's the 30th, but close enough where I celebrate my birthday and Halloween every single year. And I always bring the heat too, with either being Ditka or a leprechaun every year.
There you go, Dave. Before we get into it, we got a lot of compartments here in this draft. It's not just like pick anything you want. But before we really get into it, though, I want to talk about Roman. Obviously, most guys have tried to last longer in bed. They have different ways. Thinking about baseball, saying the Pledge of Allegiance backwards in your head, counting backwards from 10. Whatever it is, you don't have to do that anymore because Roman, it's an online men's health company, are changing the game with Roman swipes. Roman swipes are clinically proven as a way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast acting, but they don't require a prescription. Roman can ship swipes to you in discreet, unmarked packaging, and each swipe packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. Just take the swipe out of the packet, swipe it on, let it dry, and you're good to go. That's it. So to get your hands on these, go to getroman.com/dogwalk, and you get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's getroman.com/dogwalk. Go do it. Smitty, you're a swipe advocate.
Big time.
Big time. Whitesoxdave, swipe advocate here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's at least bi-monthly I'm using swipes on randos, especially on Halloween, Ed.
Give yourself more credit than that. Yeah, you bring a swipe out for the Halloween this time there, Dave. But yeah, go check out Roman. The Roman swipes are great. All right, so here's the draft order. It's Carl, Whitesoxdave, Smitty, Chief, myself. The Halloween shit draft is going to be split into 5 different categories. It's going to be a group costume. So we figured like just one just costume wouldn't be enough. So it's going to be like a group or like a couples type deal. Scary movie, classic horror characters, an activity, and then a miscellaneous. So whatever you want at the end. So pick them however you want them, Smitty. And that's pretty much how it goes. So Carl, you're up first.
First overall pick in the Halloween draft, it'd be disingenuous to take anything else. Let the record also show that when we were doing the pre-draft numbering, I won the first pick and instantly went to first pick. Normally I go to the back of the draft. I think this might be the first time ever where I was like, oh, I want the first overall pick. So that said, I think this one's very easy. Like Christmas has opening presents. Valentine's Day has giving Valentine's. St. Patrick's Day has boozing. Halloween has trick-or-treating. First overall pick, Halloween activity, trick-or-treating is off the board. I love trick-or-treating. I trick-or-treated a little bit later into life. Maybe 7th, 8th grade, I trick-or-treat with my dad. Just a couple laps around the block because we enjoyed the activity so much. Trick-or-treating first overall.
Can I make a confession here? I can't think of one other Halloween activity. Like,
come on.
Oh my God.
That's it.
That's an obvious first overall pick, but there are other good ones. You just have to think outside the box a little bit. And there's probably more once you become older.
It's like trick-or-treating.
Like I got a few good ones up my sleeve.
What you guys pick? Because I mean, Halloween activities, I can't.
I'm mad because I want to sit here and argue and like tell you all the other ones, but the fact you can think of one other one.
Crazy cheat. I mean, there's more activities. It's just that the bedrock of Halloween is trick-or-treating.
Okay.
Very, very worthy 1A pick.
Thank you.
It's the only 1A pick.
Thank you.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, like there's opening presents for Christmas, there's Valentine's for Valentine's Day. That's like the only one pick, I think.
I could have seen him going with a scary movie if you really liked one of them, maybe. I don't know.
I was tempted. I have a couple of clear number ones on my board, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't want to show my hand too much. You know that's a pet peeve of mine, Ed, when we start showing our hands too early. But I'm very comfortable with where trick-or-treating falls on the big board. And comparatively, we've done enough of these drafts where I think trick-or-treating might be a clear-cut top 5 first pick overall. Like, I can't think of other times where I've been like, oh, that's the number 1 pick. Like you said, Halloween activities, I was like, if I could get my hands on trick-or-treating, I think I can win this thing. I think I can build a winner around trick-or-treating.
Did you shave your head completely?
It's as down as it's ever been, I want to say. But
down to the stuff.
You don't hate. I mean, tell me you don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
It's not bad.
A little like Walter White look going to you right
And now. I want to tell you I have a quick funny sidebar. The guy he was cutting my hair and he was like mustache trim. And just like this old Italian guy's very funny. He's like, mustache trim. I was like, no, don't worry about it. He's like, I do for free. And I was like, nah, Joe, don't worry about it. He's like, please, this mustache must be trimmed. It was so funny. I was like, yeah, of course, man. So it was really funny. Yeah.
There's nothing you could say there.
There you go. Trick-or-treating.
Trick-or-treating, great pick. I mean, yeah, it just got to be. Trick-or-treating so good that we did Halloween candy last week. And that coincides with that because Halloween candy is such a monster. So it was its own draft completely. So good pick, 1A. Whitesoxdave, we're to you.
I was, excuse me, I had a couple of directions I was considering. I was considering going costume. I was considering going movie. But I think that I'm going to go actually, no, I'm going to go group costume. It's a nice safe pick for the first round because I think I can get my other choices later on. I'm going to go Ghostbusters costume for group costume. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Ed's guy, Rick Moranis. Sigourney Weaver's in it, I think. Just classic. Everybody has that group of friends that has the Ghostbusters costume every year. Just a nice, nice little
jumpsuit. I like the costume. Might be a little high there in the 2 slot, I think, but it's definitely a good costume.
I have that. It's in my tier 1 costume range for what it's worth. I have just a few more in there.
Yeah.
Ed, if it's a stretch at 2, like, can Dave build a draft around it? So, like, his costume's off the board, group costume. There's some other thinner categories here. It'll be interesting. Smitty, I hope your brain's moving, man, because there's a lot more at stake.
My number one picks in both tiers are gone. I mean, Ghostbusters costume.
Wow.
When you arrive to a party with a group of 4 in Ghostbusters gear, you're not fucking around.
Here's my problem, though. Isn't it hard to make a good proton pack?
It is. It is right, but you do it right, and it really,
It's a home run.
It really makes the holiday.
That's my problem. You show up with a half-ass proton pack, and I think your costume sucks.
You got to put your heart into it.
But Ghostbusters, a good key to the Ghostbusters, you could play the song too.
You can. You can Ray Parker Jr.
There's something strange in the neighborhood.
I guess I'm mistaken then. If you guys all had it, if you had a tier 1 and then Smitty had that as his first costume, then I guess I'm.
Trick or treating is just like you really can't get any higher than that.
Belushi was supposed to be in Ghostbusters, Ed.
Mm-hmm. So was Eddie Murphy.
Did not know that. I knew Belushi was. I did not know Eddie Murphy was.
Mm-hmm. So was John Candy. Supposed to be Rick Moranis.
What a crew.
Wow.
But since you guys are going that hot, that fast, like I can't sandbag. I wanted to sandbag, and I'm not going to do it. That's why I'm just going with The Shining. Taking it off the board.
Ooh.
Okay. That's it.
I can live with that.
One?
That's my number 1. For horror movies. Yeah.
Smitty reeks of have never taken part in a snake draft before with that pick. You could have gotten. You got to get.
I was about to agree with you don't want to agree with me on this one. So I love The Shining. Is like, for me, it is like when you think of scary movies, that's the number 1 for me.
For me too. How was that a bad pick?
I wouldn't say it's a bad pick. I say you could have gotten more obvious picks that are going to be taken down in the first round. You could have gotten that in the 3rd or 4th round.
I don't think that's coming back to me.
Yeah, Chief has 2 picks here, so that means like there's 2 opportunities there. Chief would take The Shining, and also assuming like I wouldn't take it either. So I mean, it seems like it was in the right spot if it was Chief's number 1 as well. Shining's great. I mean, Jack, it's got the classic scene. It's got the classic characters with the twins, and then obviously the scene with the ex.
Well, yeah, the old naked lady in the fucking bathtub, like that was arguably the scariest part of the whole movie. So it's to me.
Yes, it's to you, Chief.
All right. Well, I think the activity category is light since I only had 1 on the board, but 1 popped in my head. So I'm just going to go there because I don't think I'll be able to come up with another one. I'm just going to say go into a haunted house. So haunted house as an activity, you do that every couple of years. Eddie had the guys in to scare the shit out of Dave last year, which I post that video again. That was a classic. So going with your friends, like group of, usually that's like a co-ed thing. You go with like a group of 6 to go do the haunted house. I think that's probably my number 1 after trick-or-treating for activities.
Strong.
I was going there next. So
yes, you were. Yes, you were, Eddie. You were going haunted house. Everybody saw Eddie going haunted house. Chief, what an unbelievable selection. Even if your pre-draft scouting reports aren't as deep as you want them to be, you walk into the draft, you go, hey, maybe I'm not going to be as competitive today. Your process and your strategy to go through and say, hey, wait a second, activity's limited. I'm going to go right up there. I'm drafting in front of Ed. You just went in there and Ed was basically the Bears going for Quentin Nelson.
I mean, Ed had it circled that I was going to take Pumpkin Patch. So, I went haunted house, and now it threw off his whole draft. Look at it. His brain is scrambled. He doesn't know what to do. He's on the clock.
Hey, for everybody sucking Chief's dick right now, he's got 4 more picks to fuck this up and fuck it up royally.
I'm not happy.
The easiest one possible right there. He took the easiest pick possible right there. I mean, he had no other choice.
But listen, that doesn't matter for Chief. Chief, you've seen time and time again, you could serve him something on a silver platter, and it still doesn't work out.
Exactly. So why are we kissing his dick?
He was on a win streak here, basically. Well, I know. I guess Clem won Halloween. Also, I have the all-time most second place winners here too. So this narrative that I'm a bad drafter is you guys gotta look at data.
Is it? Hold on, real quick. Is anybody getting feedback? Do we have headphones? Is everybody have headphones on?
I do not have headphones in.
Jesus, Dave.
Throw them in if you can, Dave. Are you guys hearing that too?
Yeah.
Yes. Man, haunted house. I didn't see that going 4. There's some stuff I didn't see. Ghostbusters going 2. I didn't see Shining going 3. I didn't see haunted house going 4.
I'm stunned. I like. Listen,
I'm
you're gonna
honestly like stunned right now with how things are playing out.
you're gonna tell me that like you didn't see Pumpkin Patch coming for Chief right there.
Pumpkin Patch isn't Halloween. If you said fall activities, I think Pumpkin Patch makes it in there. But Chief is evolving as a snake drafter.
Can I tell you something? I'm not evolving. I'm not evolving at all. I'm the same guy I've been the
Yeah,
entire time.
I don't know.
It's true. The same guy. I just pick things that I'm not going to pick things that I don't know. I know haunted house. Look at Pumpkin Patch. If haunted house was gone, I was taking.
Listen, you've thrown duds in the past in the first round. How could you say you haven't evolved?
Because
you took exchange rates 2 months ago.
Well, that was a mistake. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
like you've worked on your game. Like you don't. It seems like you have more clarity.
Nah, it's just I'm going with my gut. I'm going.
You're stubborn, is what you are. You're being stubborn.
I mean, I am who I am. But yeah, I guess it's. I mean, if we feel good about this, it seems like I'm off to a hot start here around 1.
Yeah, no, nice pick. I was going there like certainly next because whatever, a haunted house. Even though I'm sure you don't like them, I'm sure you fucking. I'm sure that sounds like a disingenuous pick, but we'll keep moving it on, Chief. My number 1. All right, I'm just gonna stay movie. You got to take a first rounder. It's got to be Halloween. Michael Myers, the music, the classic do 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 do. Like you just, it is the name is Halloween of the film. Like it's. I don't think I have to say anymore.
Now, can I ask you a question, Ed? You're an aficionado on this. And Smitty, you identified yourself too. Like horror movies and thriller movies and stuff. Was Halloween the first to be like, hey, we should just make this take place on Halloween and integrate Halloween into like our fucked up storyline? Or was that a thing before?
Can I give you a fun fact?
Please.
Halloween 2 does not have Michael Myers in it. Because they tried to theme it around Halloween, and it was going to be a different story that takes place on Halloween every year. But Michael Myers as a character, as a fucking horror movie slasher or whatever you want to call him, was so strong that they had to bring him back for the rest of the films.
So that people went and were like, wait, where's Michael?
Yep.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's pretty interesting. Actually, that's very interesting.
That's how strong Michael Myers is.
Come back at the end?
What'd you say?
Doesn't he come back at the end in like the insane asylum?
If it's not 2, it's 3. One of those 3s. I might have fucked that up. 2 or 3, one of those. I know for a fact that when John Carpenter, when they made it, it was supposed to be a different story for every Halloween movie. So he's not in one of them.
Surprised you didn't go Leprechaun there too, Ed.
I love the Leprechaun. Leprechaun's a great movie.
The Leprechaun
shout out Jennifer Aniston, her first movie.
Is that movie my dad showed me, I don't know, when did it come out on VHS? 92, 93. And it scared the absolute shit out of me as a 4 or 5-year-old kid. I was fucking terrified of that little fucking thing. And if you watch it now, it'd be like a comedy, I bet.
Well, he is funny too. He's like one of those, like he's got some jokes up his sleeve too. He's
we're famous, baby. Life's too short. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly. So
he's still alive, right? We looked that up kind of recently.
Oh yeah, he's doing a remake of Willow right now.
There you go.
He's had a career. It's the first Ewok in history.
Oh yeah, that's
really
right. That's
career.
right.
Yeah, you make a good Ewok, Dave.
You're a fucking dick. He's the dick. When are you shaving your face?
Tuesday.
All right.
Tuesday.
Now, because of that, I get full. I can do whatever I want.
I would love to live a life of an Ewok and look like one.
Now you're trying to backtrack. That's what it sounds like.
This sounds like we have Stooligans bleeding into the draft. We have
a
some
little
bad
bit,
blood
a little bit
between Whitesoxdave and Smitty.
We'll be all right.
Halloween. Does anyone have a problem with Halloween? Is it a worthy number 1 pick?
I think
Confession.
it's up there, top 5.
I'm not sure I've ever seen it, so I can't say yes or no. I gotta recuse myself from the snake draft.
Okay, but you know who Michael Myers is, though, right?
Yeah, of course, everybody does. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So fair enough. Halloween is my number one pick. All right, so now wrapping around. This might surprise you, but I'm going to go to the costume genre, I guess. I'm going to go for my group costume pick. I'm going to go with the Mario Kart characters. I think there's a lot of humor involved in that. I like the balloon factor. The fucking big guys get fucked. They got to be DK or Bowser. You got your short buddy. He gets fucking tossed with Toad. So there's a lot of humor in that too. You could shit on that guy. You get a pretty Princess Peach. I like the Mario Kart characters as a group costume. I always have.
Now, is that different than just Nintendo characters or Super Mario Brothers crew?
I think it is because I'm taking the 8 original. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
you're incorporating the cart and the balloons.
Yes. So like you need like a little box car around you, whatever,
Do you get like the bananas and
Absolutely.
like do you carry around? You do? Okay.
You get however you creative you are. I'm sure if you do this for a Halloween costume, you definitely are at the very least bringing a banana with you because of, it's an extra funny prop. Carl, what's your thoughts on that? I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's a good costume. I don't know. Were you trying to take that from Smitty? Like, I feel like that's an aggressive. I feel like Smitty's like the Mario Kart guy.
No, yeah, of course there was that thought. Smitty is the Mario Kart guy. He's the game guy. He has his movie off the board. He doesn't have that. So I thought it was a strong place to take it. I don't know if it's a second round worthy, but given how the draft has gone, I liked it in that spot, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which sometimes hurts you. If you think about like where it comes, it hurt me in the barbecue draft. I took corn on the cob first. People still shit on me for that, but I'll still contend that sides were very small, but I overthought it. I should have just took hot dog or beer, and you fucking won that draft by like 80% or something. So maybe I'm overthinking this, but regardless, it was my first costume anyways. I like the Mario Kart characters. I think it's funny. Like I said, I think I gave good reasoning, with Bowser, the big guys, and,
it's perfect.
Guy. Yeah.
It's perfect.
And if you do not A, have a banana, and B, use the banana throughout the night, it's not a costume.
Yeah, anytime someone's behind you, you got a banana peel and you just throw it on the floor and hope they slip on it and go floop.
Exactly, Dave.
Yeah.
Chief, to you.
All right. I'll go with the classic horror villain category. I'll stay kind of on brand for myself, going with the guy with the hockey mask, Jason, Friday the 13th. That character, all time. It's one of those ones that like the brand is so strong that the brand before you've ever even seen the movie. Like the horror, the killer before you've ever seen it. So I'm going with Jason with the hockey mask.
Not a surprise you go with the hockey guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, he's a classic. He's one of the big four, so I appreciate it. I don't know if his movies are the best, but it's certainly worthy of a draft pick. Surprised where you went there, though. Do you like these? Like, are you a Jason guy?
No, I don't like any of these movies. I don't like scary movies. I don't like Halloween. I don't like being scared. I've seen it, so they're like I'm trying to. Like I've got Norman Bates. I know Carl. Sorry, you don't like talking about other picks. I don't think Norman Bates is gonna. But like, if like he had been taken, I would have had to take like the movie from 1960 because I just haven't seen a ton of it.
Sure.
So, but I've seen Friday the 13th. I've seen a couple of them, so I feel comfortable going with that. I am taking the hockey guy. We'll stay on brand. Jason
Voorhees, however, not in the original Friday the 13th. It was his mother who was the serial killer.
The mother was a camp counselor or camp cook or whatever she was. Yeah, I've seen that one too. So I've seen him, but yeah, going with Jason.
Camp Crystal Lake, I always enjoyed how Jason. Jason had the just the camp vibe. Everyone went to camp, and it's got the sounds mean a lot. The sounds mean a lot to me.
So you like that pick too?
It's okay.
Okay.
I don't think it would. I mean, it's okay. It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Okay. All right.
Anybody have a problem with it? Dave, Carl, anything?
No, I don't think so.
Totally okay with it. It expands my horizons for Halloween characters, so I love it.
All right, we'll move it to Smitty again.
I feel like I need to use this pick for a Halloween activity because it drops off so much. This isn't haunted house or trick or treating. Like that's 1A, 1B in my mind. This is a good, solid 2A, and then everything just drops off to like 100 in my mind. There's nothing after. However, I'm very concerned that it is a regional thing. It is big in and around Philadelphia. I don't know how it is in the Midwest. I would assume it's big, but I'm not sure. I'm going with the good old-fashioned haunted hayride.
No, that's a big one.
Okay.
Sunny Acres. I had a feeling you were going to go there, and then you said regional. I'm like, haunted hayride is definitely a Midwest thing, not just the East Coast thing. So, no, I think that's a good one.
Big, great for date nights, great for with the boys, packing a few bottles, hiding the potato cans, great family adventure. It's a win all around.
You think a hayride is good for the boys, Smitty?
I mean, if you're in high school and college, you need something to do, fill up the 7-Up bottle, figure it out.
Jesus.
Hayride was on my board. A good
No,
hayride.
it was not.
It was on my board. It was. Hey, but like that was like it was for my kids' sake. Like I enjoyed a good hayride as a kid. That was fun.
Yes. And when I say with the boys, like big group atmosphere, females probably would need to be involved. You're going with the group. It's a couple
Confirmed.
of the hayride. Yeah, it's a little weird.
So you don't like hayride, Carl?
I think a hayride is a very difficult thing to relate to.
You never done the hayride?
I've done a hayride. I just have done it maybe once at a barn party in college in southern, in central Illinois.
So you haven't been on a true haunted hayride?
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, Smitty. Is this a Philly thing? Is this like a pork roll thing?
This is not a Philly thing. This is an everywhere thing. I feel like, it's big enough to be on in Philly and Midwest. They were fun as fuck, but I wouldn't say. I'd say it was more fun as fuck when you go as you're like 10 or 12, not high school. But I think it's absolutely should be a draft pick.
Dude, you're going across a cornfield and shit's coming out of the weeds, and you don't know what's coming up above you. Chainsaws coming to cut your dick off. Living the dream.
All right.
Haunted hayride, Smitty. I got you. The activity it drops off so hard after haunted house and trick or treating, so I understand. But haunted hayride's your pick. I got you. It's okay. I don't know about a second rounder though. It was.
But that's what it's there. This is where the steak jack comes in and bites you. Because after that, what are you going with?
You'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Whitesoxdave, back to you.
I'm gonna go into the movie category, and I'm gonna go with Scream.
Love it. Scream's awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking since I might not be leaving my house for a while, I was thinking about because I haven't seen them in forever. They are very, very particular to the 90s. And I have a feeling if you went back and watched them, they'd be corny as absolute shit. But I think I'd have a new appreciation for them if I went back and watched them all.
The original Scream holds up. That opening scene with Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm.
It does, and I think we all consider ourselves 90s kids. That was for us. You're right. 96 it came out. So Scream is awesome. Scream is a great movie. I love Scream. It's also for not being in one of the original 70s 80s genre. The fucking what's his Scream face they call him? Is that right?
Ghostface.
Sorry.
I actually did some research on this. So that was a generic mask that they would sell at any Halloween store. And they had been selling it for years already. It was just always readily available. And they needed a mask for the movie last second. And they're like, all right, use this one. And it became synonymous with the movie. And now everybody calls it the Scream mask, but it was just originally the ghost face.
Good. That's good fact there, Dave. That's how you help drafts.
There you go.
So all right, Scream is off the board. I don't know if anyone's a problem with Scream. Talk now. But I actually think that was a good pick by Dave. Scream is gone. Carl, back to you.
I think we would have got it last round, but it's a good pick.
Oh, question about the movie category. If I was scared as a kid, how does this work? I want to draft Ghostbusters.
The movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fine. Why wouldn't it be fine?
You could. If it's,
do you mean slasher movies? Because there were elements of a kid where I remember being fucking terrified of,
the Stay Puft Marshmallow.
Yeah,
would
shit
you-
like that.
Would you consider Ghostbusters a horror movie though?
No, it's a
No, we
Halloween
wouldn't.
movie.
So
It's a
that's what I'm
comedy.
trying to get, because the definition of the category is a scary movie. So like, I don't know.
It's hard
Is that
because
it?
Climber was pretty scary. I agree. That library scene got me.
So it's like, I don't know.
Oh, there's the conundrum. Yeah, it's not scary. I don't think that's a scary movie. It's a comedy.
It
Yeah,
is a
but-
comedy, technically.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you guys say it.
Veto.
Veto. Second.
2 vetoes.
Excellent. Excellent. I
Ed,
move
would
on
you
with
have
my
vetoed?
draft. Ed doesn't like to go on record, guys. You know that.
I wouldn't have vetoed because I think it would have been a bad pick, to be honest.
Knock your socks off. Okay. I'm gonna go group costume. I'm gonna go Jamaican bobsled team. Arguably my favorite group costume. Period. You do a good Jamaican bobsled team, especially if the fifth guy who can play John Candy, who's walking around the jacket. Just unbelievable fucking move. I love Jamaican bobsled team. Group costume.
Ed's
Feedback.
been John Candy for Halloween multiple times, except
have.
a different movie.
I've been Gus Polinski and the Kenosha Kickers from Home Alone. That's a good one. That was on my board, Jamaican bobsled team.
Mm-hmm.
I
Thank
was at a
you.
bar one time and they rolled up and it was a power roll up.
Mhm.
The Jamaican bobsled. It was a power roll up.
I'm not going to dispute the movie thing. I have to regather myself on movie. I'm going to move movie down to the bottom of the board while I gather myself. I was going to see if maybe we could sneak Ghostbusters in there. Ed, I'm surprised you don't like Ghostbusters as a movie here.
I just don't consider it a scary movie, but I get your point. It did, like, there was parts that scared me as a kid, but it just doesn't have that traditional like horror movie. You know what I mean? Like it's just not in the genre. Like it's just not.
That's why I'm going to do something a little untraditional here. I'm going to move my miscellaneous up to the third. Okay. I'm going to take Six Flags Fright Fest for my, like a Halloween. That's just my miscellaneous. Six Flags is fucking awesome to begin with. Then they trick it out for Halloween, spiders and shit, all the scary, like all like the misters. It's just the best. So
That's a great fucking pick. I was struggling with miscellaneous category too. That never even occurred to me. That's a good pick. I hate to say it, great pick.
Six Flags is so legit for Fright Fest. Like it's awesome. Like there's people walking around scaring you the whole time. They got the fucking, at least in listen, this is very Chicago specific, but
They have
They
one
got
out
one in
towards Philly
Philly?
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Jackson, New
everything.
Jersey.
About
they got the
40
massive.
What
I
do you?
I mean, I used to go to the one out towards Philly when I was growing up too, so I've been to both of them. Because my mom's from out there. They
got
have the safari there too.
spider,
They
the
go.
massive tarantula on the roller coaster. There's a lot to love about that. The pools dyed red and blood. That's good.
Okay.
Is it good in Philly, Smitty?
I've been to Six Flags about 100 times. I've never been to Fright Fest. Just never been.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You should do it now, honestly.
Should.
Assuming it was open.
Just never like really even thought about going to Fright Fest because there's so many. Like Philly has so many good Halloween activities. Like Eastern State Penitentiary gets turned into a haunted place. There's this place Penhurst, which is an old abandoned asylum, which gets turned into a haunted attraction. And they got hay rides at the kazoo. There's just a lot to do around Philly that yeah, Fright Fest is an option. Just never did it.
That's good. I'm dying to know what's going to be the first classic monster character off the board.
Well, Chief chose
Took
Warden,
one.
didn't he?
Yeah, Chief took one.
Did he?
Yeah, he took Jason.
No, he didn't. He just took Friday the 13th for the
No, I
movie.
took Jason.
No, he took Jason. That's why I said, my horizons.
Did he really?
Yeah,
don't
I was
think
gonna
you
say
can take Jason.
That's why I said my horizons have been expanded on what that topic
Oh,
means.
bro, you can't
because-
take Jason.
What do you mean? I
That's
can't
what.
take Jason?
Yeah, that's what I was
You
wondering.
can't take Jason.
Why not?
Because I literally, like, Whitesoxdave
Yep.
understood it. I literally said in the text it had to predate 1970.
Such a mean ricochet shot to Whitesoxdave for no reason at all, Ed.
No, that was not mean, Dave. You know what I mean. There's a little lot of. We always argue about semantics.
I wanted to make sure that I didn't pull a Chief, and then Chief pulled a Chief,
I have to
and
take,
I was like,
fucking
wait, I thought,
Frankenstein.
and I'm thinking when he took Jason, I'm like, I don't think you can take that. But no one said a word, so I just didn't. I shut up about it.
No, I honestly, that was so preposterous to him to think that. I was like, there's no way he took the movie.
I thought it was classic horror villains.
It was classic horror monsters, and there was a note under the text that said it has to predate the 1970s.
Well,
So you got to take like a ghost or a mummy. Well, Chief gets he took it. He
There was none taken, so if you want to go from there, you can. Chief, if you want to retake that, I'm fine with that.
I feel like
Friday the 13th as a movie.
what's that?
Yeah, or you could keep it as a movie.
I don't want to keep it as a movie. I feel like the opportunity for you guys to veto this has passed. This is this is bullshit. This is like you're going back and trying to like let's redo the 2016 election again right now. Like it's over. The moment has passed. Jason is the villain.
I mean, if Jason's allowed, then the Pandora's box is open. That means Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, every character.
Yeah, like that's fucked up. Like that's fucked up. If I get Halloween and someone takes Michael Myers, they completely swagger jack my whole draft.
All right, but then like if you guys had vetoed it on time, then maybe I go and I take the Jamaican bobsled team costume. Like you guys with your inability to properly do a veto, Ed. I mean, step up. Like
I'm blaming Ed on this one.
Yeah, this is a commissioner problem.
Dave, how you blaming me? Read the thing. This is Chief just completely going.
Then
outside
how did
the
you
rules.
let me take it when I
Because-
just said Jason from Friday the 13th, and he clarifies, well, it was the mom in the first one. Well, yeah, I've seen that one too, but I'm taking Jason.
It's true.
You were very ambiguous in that text. I'm blaming Ed for this one, and I don't know what to do.
All right, then what about Carl and Chief? Carl and Smitty, what did you think? I think it was pretty fucking clear. Literally, the whole reason we did this category is because I want to hear Whitesoxdave argue about why the mummy is better than the fucking werewolf. Because I thought that'd be funny.
I see it both ways. You said horror classic villains, but you also said up to the 70s, which leaves a couple characters like Leatherface is from the 70s.
Predates the 70s. That's what I said.
So I could have taken Norman Bates. Is that what you're taking? I could have taken the Burt. I got to take Alfred Hitchcock movies or fucking fairy tales. Like that's my options.
what's wrong with Frankenstein, Chief?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a movie too. Seems like an arbitrary time to just pull out, like just the 70s. So Frankenstein's from a movie from the 1930s.
Let's see. No, classic horror villain should not coincide with a horror movie after the 70s, if that makes sense.
No one
Plain as day.
said that though, Ed, but you just didn't enforce it in real time. You're the commissioner. This is your turf. You're in a real.
I guess we're gonna have to have cards, and we're gonna have to write them out then, because I guess hearing it verbally just didn't. It flew over my head. So, what do you guys want to do? Should Chief get away with it? Should he redraft? I don't know.
I think first off, we should put the draft under protest. I think that's natural, Chief. I'll let you go ahead and say it. Chief.
I mean, I'm not going to protest my own draft unless I have to go back and like you guys take my second round pick from me after that. We're into the third round. You can't go back and now take it out. We're on to the third round.
I'm taking it back.
You can't.
I'm taking it back.
I'm taking it.
You can't take it back.
I gotta take it back, Chief. I'm
This
sorry.
is absolute bullshit. You can't take it back. I'm about to close my computer. You guys can do the rest of this fucking draft without me. I got Jason with the hockey mask. We're staying on brand. You pick some fucking arbitrary date. It doesn't coincide with just one movie. It's many movies. He's a Halloween horror villain.
Chief, I hate to do this. I hate to do this, Chief.
All right. Well, then I feel like I got to get the next 3 picks in a row or something.
Chief, I hate to do this, but I'm going to box you in a corner. I'm going to box you in a corner right now.
This is outrageous. This is outrageous that you couldn't have your brain focused enough to enforce what you say was a clear rule, which nobody else stepped up to veto either. So clearly it wasn't that obvious.
Chief, I hate to do this.
This.
I
might have to protest for real. I might just have to just punt out of principle.
Chief, you're either going to have to take a different monster. You're going to have to keep Friday the 13th as your movie.
I'm not keeping Friday the 13th.
Or you just might have to forfeit the pick in general.
I hate your guts right now. Like, I hate your guts. This
or
is
listen,
bullshit.
or actually, there are 4 other categories. If the rest of the panel is okay with it, I'll let you make another pick right there. Right now, you'll jump the other 2 picks for right now.
What do you mean? That's not it. I either have to go back and change my pick. That doesn't mean I'm jumping them.
Well, but for the time being, you're jumping them. Okay.
I'm already ahead of them. I picked it. It was in the past. It was 20 minutes ago. Don't make it seem like you're doing me some kind of favor.
I'm trying to make this right, okay? I'm trying
You're
to make
making it
right.
worse, Ed, but
You're
it's your
making it
fuck up.
worse.
It's not my fuck up.
It is your fuck up.
It
Yeah,
is
I
your
mean-
fuck up. It's your fuck up, and you should apologize. And if you apologize, then I'll go back and change the pick.
It's just dirty politics. You guys are just trying to fucking, you knew what you were doing. This was
No, I
manipulative.
didn't know what I was doing.
I was
I knew
manipulating.
he picked that. I was like, wait, I thought that was illegal, and I was thinking it the entire time, but no one
Why
said
didn't you
a word
say
about
anything? Why didn't you say
Because
anything?
no one else said a word about it. And
Stop
I
I
it.
didn't
Back, Dave.
specifically said that I go, my horizons on this topic have been expanded now.
Well, what does that mean? I don't know.
What does
what
it
that
mean?
Mine were gonna. I was
Pretty
about
vague.
to pick fucking Jigsaw from the Saw movies. Because
Jigsaw
he
was on
picked
my
that.
list too.
All right, fine. Keep Jason.
Really?
Oh, you
Really?
No one else is stepping up here with a
I
decision.
stepped up and said, take the pick away.
All right, so
I
you
said
say take the pick away.
White Sox
what's-
Dave instantly said, take the pick away.
What's your vote, Dave?
I said take it away, but I'd rather open it up at the same time because I think the categories would be way better. Like I don't want to draft a fucking Ghost or Frankenstein. I'd rather draft Jigsaw. It'll look better on the graphic.
All right, Ed. Looks like you've been boxed into a corner here.
All right, Chief. I gave you 3 options. I'm going back on that. You could either pick again, you could keep Friday the 13th, you could pick another monster, or you could pick, or you could forfeit your pick.
All right. I'd like to take Jamaican bobsled team.
Oh wow. Oh
That's what
wow.
I'd like
Can he
to
do that?
Well, I mean, we're just changing the rules willy nilly. You're saying I can't have my guy. The next thing on my board was Jamaican bobsled team. So if we're going back in time, I'm taking Jamaican bobsled team.
Can you prove that it was on your board?
No, he can't because he can show you he just wrote it down. He just say, yeah, I just wrote it down. No, I'm not doing this. We're not.
I
It's
don't know. You can't take Jamaican bobsled team.
absolutely ridiculous.
The people are going to be upset with you, Ed. I'm just saying. The
I-
people
listen,
you're going to get a lot of internet.
I'm
backlash.
sorry, people. I don't know what you want me to say.
I'll be the bigger man. I'll go back in time and I'll I'll cross out Jason.
No, let's
And,
expand the monster category. Let's stick it to Ed. Ed, we're expanding the monster category. White Sox Dave doesn't want to do Frankenstein versus werewolf.
All right, so just keep Jason. White Sox,
Keep
Dave.
Jason.
It's to you.
And because of that, like Carl said, my horizons were expanded exponentially. Because, like I said, I thought that his pick was illegal, but no one said a word about it. So I'm like, I guess I just misunderstood the category. And then I immediately shifted to Jigsaw from the Saw movies. Now, I've seen, how many Saw movies are there at this point? Like 8?
a million.
10? There's a million of them. I've seen probably 5 of them. I don't particularly like them because I'm a huge pussy. Not that they're scary, but they have the shock scares and they're just fucking gruesome. But Jigsaw at this point, like, even if you haven't seen the movies, you know what he's from. So he's gotten into that Jason and Freddy Krueger category, I think.
Not quite, but he's good.
He's definitely up there, especially if you're talking about millennials. They'll fucking know Jigsaw's before they know who Jason is, I think.
Tricycle's a nice touch.
Jigsaw for Dave.
Yeah, I'm taking Jigsaw, and it's thanks to Chief and
Now
Eddie for their.
Now I
for
feel
their
bad because I
fuck-ups.
see the pain on Ed's face. I see
It
the
hurts.
pain. Well, I mean, nobody blame but you.
It's tough being a player commissioner, guys. It's tough. People don't talk about that enough, about how hard it is for the player commissioner. Smitty, to you.
I mean, the board's wide open now. Like a couple of these characters would have been selected like number 1 overall.
Fuck yeah, they would have.
Yeah. So personally, the greatest horror movie villain of all time is the woman from Gone Girl. However, I will not use that as just a personal vendetta. I will be going with the classic Freddy Krueger.
That's tough. I got shut out on Freddy. Chief, fuck you.
Thanks, that might be a number 1 overall pick up there with Trick or Treat.
Yep, that could be a number 1 overall pick. I'm going to get Halloween and Michael Myers. My draft is just going to be awful. That's just terrible. I'm just fucked. I'm sitting on my thumb right now.
That's a tough break. You
Unbelievable.
You guys want to know a fun fact about Freddy Krueger?
No, I don't.
Yeah, fun fact about a child.
I'm going to tell it to you
burned
anyway.
alive.
So Nightmare on Elm Street was written by Wes Craven, who grew up in Wheaton, Illinois, my hometown, and Elm Street is the Elm Street in Wheaton. And it's based in Wheaton, like
So who was the
loosely
child
based.
molester it was based on?
What's that?
Who was the child molester was based on?
Probably someone related to you. He also bounced back. He went to Drexel, too.
Oh, okay.
So it was someone in Philly.
I hope you
No,
know
I'm joking. He went to Wheaton College.
Chief. You've handed Carl another draft in the process of this.
I mean,
Why?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because I know what's going to happen for the rest of this draft. If you look ahead, you know what's going to happen.
Why?
Because I can't take Michael Myers.
Why not?
Because I have Halloween and Michael Myers. I'm sunk. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm with the Titanic. I'm with
Hey,
fucking.
you have nobody to blame but
No,
yourself.
I'm with Alvin. I'm down there with fucking Alvin, Dave. Fuck you. I'm at the bottom of the ocean because Chief couldn't understand the simple fucking rules.
When can I just win one of these without you guys trashing me in the process? Can I just? I'm just out here competing. It is what it is, Ed.
This is very disheartening. Freddy Krueger, nice pick, Smitty. Wish it would have been there for me. Back to Chief, the dick.
All right. I guess I'll go with a group costume because it's I can't have Jamaican bobsled team going back in time, which would have been my number one pick. I'll just go with the Ninja Turtles. So you get 4 buddies together. Somebody's girlfriend has April O'Neil. She gets to be the hot girl. Maybe somebody, if they're a rat or a mouse, they can be Splinter. Not going to name any names here, but that would be available. And so the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, was that a ricochet shot?
No, it was not.
Sound like one could have been.
It wasn't. Eddie, to you, your pick. What do you want to have?
Yeah, fuck you, Ninja Turtles. What a terrible pick. It's to me. All right, so I need a villain. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna go with Pennywise the Clown from It.
Yep, that's an easy one.
Good one.
But that's what I'm telling you. Now we've gift wrapped Carl Michael Myers, and we gift wrapped him his 13th or 14th win, and everybody knows it. That's what I'm saying. Carl, you even know it too. You're laughing. You got your fucking sweatshirt over your mouth because you know how preposterous it is that you're gonna get Michael Myers in the 4th fucking round. That's preposterous. Preposterous.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Unbelievable, Chief.
You could have had him.
Pennywise the Clown. By the way, Tim Curry's version was better. I like the new movies, but Tim Curry in the original, he was scary as fuck. If you didn't have nightmares of him, especially a couple years ago, people were hanging balloons on cars and shit. The clowns are popping up all over the place. Pennywise the Clown is probably would have gone higher in other drafts if someone in here didn't blow it up. But Pennywise is my pick. And for my miscellaneous, why is everyone laughing?
I'm not laughing.
Yeah, well, I know. I hope you're not. Never mind. I'm gonna go with Spirit Halloween Costume Store. Just Spirit Costume Store. That's miscellaneous as it gets. It's when you see them popping up, the season has turned. Everybody's gone there and bought a shitty costume. Do they have those in Philly, Smitty?
They do, I believe. I mean, we're talking old school. They don't anymore. I don't think so. But we usually went to something like that. What's called or Spencer Gifts for Halloween.
Okay.
What are you laughing about?
Just how you pictured this going.
I felt great.
How this is turning out for you couldn't be any different, Ed.
It's tough. It's tough.
You thought about this draft so long, so hard.
These compartments, we sat down and we thought about them. You're right. And for just to have them be disrespected it hurts. I'll be quite honest.
Well, I mean, there's only one guy here really in charge of enforcing his rules, and he dropped the ball. That would be you.
Big time. He dropped the ball big time.
Dave, shut up. Tell me about Spirit Halloween costume stores and how much you like Spirit.
They have one at the corner of Ashland and Division right now, I want to say. And it's the only one I've seen this year. Usually they're fucking everywhere and they sell out like crazy. But obviously, considering the circumstances of our lives this year, I've only seen one. But yeah, I think it's a good, clean pick. I wasn't on my board, didn't even think of it, but I think it's fine. Everybody can resonate with having walked in there. I'll tell you what, though.
What?
And I might draft this. I might not. I looked and no one else could draft it, so it's me or me not, or me and me only. The best place to get a Halloween costume is going to Goodwill. You can whip up fucking anything for there for like $20.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good spot. Back to the guy who ruined the draft.
Thrift stores.
What'd you say?
I'm not sure people equate like Halloween with thrift stores, but
I have a curveball I think I'm going to try to throw.
Kind of insensitive if you think about it like that, huh, Smitty?
a little bit.
Yeah. Classic Dave. All right, back to the guy who ruined the draft.
All right. So 4th round. I kind of want to go miscellaneous and just take slutty costumes, but I feel like that. I don't know if that's specific enough.
That's
nothing from the peanut gallery on slutty
It's
costumes.
just like I like the chaos. I'd probably veto.
Okay.
I veto.
All right, veto. All right. Well, then
I'm
I'll
okay.
go. What's that?
I'm okay with it.
I mean, is it like? Could you be a little bit more specific?
Well,
Yeah,
like, I'm thinking of like you walk into like your first college Halloween party, and like you have a group of girls dressed as like the slutty what do you call them? Girl Scouts, or you got the slutty M&Ms or the slutty crayons. Like they have the tight dresses on, and it just says Crayola on it, and you're like, it's fucking hot. Like all of you 6 girls together, all different colors, pretty fucking hot.
Slutty
So-
M&Ms.
What?
Slutty M&Ms.
The slutty. Everyone's the green M&M.
you could take something like that, I think, if you do specific, like a
Yeah.
slutty Girl Scout.
Then yeah, I don't know if I want that on the graphic.
That's tough, man.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
No,
I'll just
do
go. I'll go. I'll go movie, and this is a tough one because I haven't seen a lot of these. One of them that I have seen is The Others. It's Nicole Kidman. I feel like it's not going to play that well on the graphic, but I've seen it and I liked it, so I'm going to go with The Others.
This is what hurts. This what hurts the most. This guy
What's that?
posted the whole draft to take the fucking Others in the 4th round. Are we kidding right now?
True to myself. Like I could take The Exorcist, but I feel like I've seen it one time, like
It was not
25 years
a
ago.
movie. The Others was not that good.
It's a good movie, but it shouldn't be drafted in any circumstance.
All right. Well, I'm not a Halloween guy, so maybe I'm the Halloween villain for you. Apparently.
You are, because I care a lot about Halloween and you
I know
ruined
you-
it for me. So no more comments on The Others. Bad pick. Back to Smitty.
This is either going to be the pick that could put me in contention to win the draft, or it's going to absolutely lose me. I have no conceivable way or thought how this is going to go. But I'm going with the good old-fashioned pumpkin beer. Miscellaneous.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah.
No, I like
Bad
that.
pick at all.
Halloween, though?
It's great in moderation. It's good for this time of the year. And then it's awful by the time Halloween's done. Had too much of it, but good old-fashioned pumpkin beer. Don't hate it.
I'm gonna have one with lunch, Smitty.
There you go.
I think it fits for me. Why you don't think so?
Talking to me, I don't know. I mean, they start selling it in August. They sell it through Thanksgiving into Christmas time. So I don't necessarily. It's more of like a fall thing than specific to Halloween. But
It's usually got a jack-o'-lantern on there, though.
I think that's why I said pumpkin. Oktoberfest, I'm with Chief.
mhm.
I agree with Chief about Oktoberfest, but like a pumpkin beer.
Yeah, you think pumpkins, you think Halloween. I just know. Like I saw them at Mariano's on the display aisle on like August 20th, and it's gonna be there until
But
Christmas.
that's not necessarily a problem with pumpkin beer. It's a problem with society.
It's not
Fair
bad.
argument. I'm not vetoing. I'm just offering a
Now, doesn't our friend Asteroid Nate, he advocates for pumpkin beer in like August, so this could be a direct shot from his friend Smitty.
Possibly.
Tune
No
into the
comment.
Dave Portnoy.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, quote a deek.
Whitesoxdave, back to you.
Now, for miscellaneous, can I take Michael Myers?
No.
What's the matter with you?
I'm asking a question.
No, that it exists in another category. I don't know. Well,
No,
it's a
yeah,
commissioner, but
No, I mean, everyone said, that's preposterous. It's crazy he would even ask. I'm offended he would even ask.
See, if
All
you
right.
were smart,
It was worth a shot.
He
Jesus,
would
I was
take
doing
out
it for
the
you, Ed, you fucking
Yeah.
dick. Was it worth me asking?
I have integrity, unlike some people on this show.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to take miscellaneous anyways. Actually, it could be either or. I'll let you guys pick. I'm going to take Smashing Pumpkins, the actual physical Smashing Pumpkins,
As a Halloween
and
activity.
not the band. It's miscellaneous.
I like it.
are you kidding me?
Why? What's wrong with Smashing Pumpkins? I know you smashed pumpkins growing up, Stark, just as much as probably more than anybody in this entire room.
Dave, is that your
I
activity?
didn't.
I think that's your
I
activity.
didn't. It wasn't an activity we did.
I got a text from a guy. This is probably about a year ago. He's in the Chicago Police Department, and he goes, he's like, one of my partners knows Carl from high school and said Carl unloaded 24 eggs on this girl's house that broke up with him. And
That's similar, but not true.
And you're going to tell me you have never smashed a pumpkin?
I use egg houses all the time. It's in several blogs. In fact, most recently, yesterday, I wrote a blog about it, or it was like in a blog about how much I loved egging houses as kids. But that wasn't a girlfriend. It was this guy that had like finger banged her. We were sophomores in high school. And then he called me up and he was like, yo, I just fingered your ex-girlfriend, bro. And then he was like sniffing into the phone. He went to Andrew High School. It was funny. It was like funny high school beef. So
Holy
we went
shit.
out and egged his house that night. My buddy had a driver's license. And then we went and saw Old School. So it was in February of 2003.
That sounds like a nice fun night.
That sounds like a great night, actually.
That's an awesome fun night.
It wasn't as malicious as I wish.
Dave, I do think that has to be your activity, though, so you still need a miscellaneous.
That's fine. It can
Okay.
be either or.
All right, Carl, back to you for your last couple picks here.
Fourth round scary movie. I'm going to take Get Out.
Never saw it.
There's better scary movies, I'm sure, and more maybe Halloween specific, like Exorcist, Poltergeist, The Thing, Alien, all that stuff. Don't care. Get Out was nominated for Best Picture, almost won. It's a great fucking movie. And then any feedback on that?
Oddly enough, that's considered a comedy too. Isn't that ridiculous? But I'm not doing this to throw it in the Ghostbusters thing. It counts for sure because that's crazy on them. But I just thought that was funny how it kind of circled back.
Is that really a comedy?
Yeah, it was, and like everyone talked about how crazy it was that it was considered a comedy.
Dave, is Donnie Darko a comedy to you?
No, that movie weirds me the fuck out, though. No, it's not. I would say like there's some weird. What's Zombieland with Woody Harrelson and that redhead chick from Superbad? That's kind of a comedy, but it's kind of not at the same time. I don't know. So there's some weird, like fine lines and gray areas, I guess.
Am I allowed to take a pick back before I move on and someone else makes another pick? Like, what are the rules on picking? Because I just realized does anybody have a movie pick left?
Davis, Scream, Smitty is a Shining. Yes. The others, no, nobody has a movie.
All right. So then I can talk about this. Get Out. If you want to put me down for Get Out, I'll take Get Out. But as I'm saying this, I'm realizing probably the all-time, if you want to win the graphic, put American Psycho. That American Psycho will be the #1 scary movie on the graphic but no one drafted it.
With Christian Bale?
Yeah, people love that movie. People see
That's
that
not
movie.
a Halloween movie.
The question isn't Halloween; it's scary movie, and he goes around killing people.
I put that more as a thriller than a horror.
That's not. I mean, you can have it.
Is
it's
it?
Not, it's not
distinction
scary at all, though.
I looked up so it is. Get Out is a horror, but the Golden Globes classified it as a comedy for whatever reason when they put it up for awards.
Interesting.
And that was it created a bunch of waves. But I don't know if American Psycho fits, but I'm willing to hear the other three if you want.
No, I was just going to say American Psycho. I thought that would be, but I'm taking Get Out. That's 4th round. 5th round pick for me, character Michael Myers. So I don't have to say shit. Ed, you can do it for me.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you,
I'm
Chief.
intentionally drafting him in the 5th round because I know people are going to be like, how the fuck do you make it to the 5th round? It's going to be way more dramatic that he's in the 5th spot. If you do 4th spot, 5th spot, this is going to cause some waves. People are going to be, what the fuck happened?
Yep, it makes all 5 of us look dumb, quite frankly. It makes people see the graphic and we all lose credibility seeing Michael Myers in the 5th.
Well, I mean, we want more people listening to the episode anyway, so you should be like, hey, tune in to see how this happened. So maybe we'll get a few more downloads because of what I did. You're welcome.
Well, whatever. Michael Myers gone.
Dave,
I love Michael Myers.
you could have drafted him instead of Pennywise. He was on
Yeah,
the board.
I know. I'm aware.
Okay.
Dave, you need a miscellaneous.
Now, I don't know how this would fit on the graphic, but I'm going to draft the house that puts out the bowl of candy and says, please take one. And you just take the whole entire fucking thing.
Self-serving Halloween candy or self-serve Halloween candy?
Please take one.
Yeah, please take one bowl. Please, everybody should know that. Please take one bowl.
It's a good pick.
That might be the best pick of the draft, Dave.
Does anybody ever just take one, Dave?
No. You see, but it's funny. There's been a couple times in my hometown, and I was between. Well, I don't. There's probably misses, so I won't say this. But people put the please take one bowls, and then they'll be looking out the other window, and then when they see it dump it, it's like a sabotage. Like, hey, and they're just fucking with you. Of course, they want you to take more because then they got you. You know.
Yeah.
So, but there are the houses that actually think that 12-year-old kids are going to actually take one. So I want the please take one bowl on the graphic in quotes. Please take one in quotes and then bowl.
Perfect. That's what I got. Please take one candy bowl. Smitty, to you. I think you need a costume.
The more I think about this, the more I think it's a steal last round for costumes. Old school WWF wrestlers. You got people rolling in as the Legion of Doom. You got the Bushwhackers. You got Hulk Hogan. You got Ultimate Warrior. You got big guys Yokozuna, Andre the Giant. You can put China in there somewhere if you got a girl. I don't hate it.
It's great. It's hard to do well, though. Do you agree it's hard to do well?
It's very hard to do well. Very hard. It's more you need the people to play the characters rather than looking good.
And you need the people to commit. Like, you need that guy who's going to be Macho Man. Like, he's got to go out, get the hat, he needs to do it big. Same thing with fucking the Boas and Hulk Hogan. And I don't think Chief and Dave are big wrestling guys. No. So, Carl, I do interest on your
Hulk
take.
Hogan plays anywhere, though. Like the big time wrestlers, everybody knows exactly who they are and what their character is. And if you can pull off a good, Hulk Hogan or Macho Man Randy Savage, then that plays anywhere.
Exactly.
Everybody knows who it is.
And you go in, you run the party, the bar. You can drop an elbow off the end of the bar. You can take a table wherever you go. Lots of ancillary factors here.
Yep, exactly. To Chief.
All right, I'm going to take Thriller by Michael Jackson. That video is all Halloween themed. That's my miscellaneous pick.
That's actually not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick at all. Ed, any thoughts?
I have no comments on your picks today. I have no comments. It's a good song. Well, that was a comment, I guess. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yep.
Does anybody else have anything?
Ed, will you be asleep at the wheel next week while Chief picks?
Seriously. This is all Eddie's fault. This is all Eddie's fault.
It is not my fault. I disagree. My final pick, I don't know how to say this, so if someone could help me out, kind of craft this. No. I need an activity. It's like going to the scary place, like the haunted cemetery. You know what I mean?
Ghost hunting.
Yes, ghost hunting. Yeah, sure. Like, well, ghost hunting sounds kind of stupid.
My dad used to take me ghost hunting when
It's a
I was
sabotage.
super young.
That's not a sabotage. What about paranormal adventure seeking?
No, I don't.
mean,
like
it
either.
sounds like you just want to take the dark. Do you want to just take places that are dark? Because that, like, the basement can be scary, the attic can be scary, cemeteries at night can be scary. Like, you just want to take the dark.
No, like I want to be like, hey, let's go to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. You know, let's
Okay.
go to this place. It's haunted. Let's go to the haunted tracks. You know what I mean? Like the actual, not a haunted house, but the places that actually have the.
Like, people actually believe it's real.
So I put like haunted folklore site.
Or you can just go with trespassing.
Trespassing, I guess. Fuck, ghost hunting sounds so stupid, but if people listen, they know what I mean. I think it's a good activity.
I know 1,000% what you mean, and I also know 1,000% you mean trespassing.
I know I do.
Yeah,
I know.
Your name for it.
Like going into what did I say? Like going into like the abandoned building. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. How about that?
What? Just talk through your draft with us? What do you mean you're gonna just take it?
Like abandoned, haunted abandoned building.
All right, Eddie, you're on the clock here, bud.
Haunted abandoned building.
Wait, you're haunting it or you're going into it?
Hold on
It's an
one
activity, right?
Yeah, it's an activity like going into a haunted abandoned building.
So going into a haunted abandoned building. So
yes, correct.
I don't know if we're allowed to gonna let you put haunted into your activity because Chief has haunted house.
No, I know what you're doing. I'm not letting you do it. I'm not letting you do that. I'm reading through the draft picks, and then we'll do honorable mentions, and then we'll close the books on this draft. Carl, Trick or Treating, Jamaican Bobsled Team, Six Flags Fright Fest, Get Out, Michael Myers, Whitesoxdave, Ghostbusters Costume, Scream, Jigsaw, Smashing Pumpkins Activity. Please take one candy bowl. Smitty, The Shining, Haunted Hayride, Freddy Krueger, Pumpkin Beer, Old School WWF Wrestlers, Chief, Haunted House, the pick that ruined the draft, Ninja Turtles, The Others, Thriller by Michael Jackson, myself, Halloween film, Mario Kart characters, Pennywise the Clown, Spirit Costume Store, Haunted Abandoned Building. Does anybody have any miscellaneous they want to get out there?
Like honorable mentions?
Yeah, sorry.
I was
honorable
thinking
mentions.
like Dracula and Werewolf and stuff like that.
He's rubbing it in, Ed.
Piece of shit.
Ed, I
What?
can't believe you didn't take the hot dog guy.
Who?
The hot dog guy. Every neighborhood's got a hot dog guy.
Oh, hot dog guy's good pick. That's right.
It was
what-
between that and the take one only take one bowl, and I went with that route. But I was shocked you didn't go with the hot dog guy.
What's a hot dog guy?
That's what he does for trick or treating. He just cooks hot dogs, and everybody goes to him 2-3 times, and he probably gives out, 500-600 hot dogs. Spends a few $100 on them. You guys didn't have one in your neighborhood?
Never heard of that.
No.
No, we did.
This was a senator. Yeah, he gave you a $50 as well.
Yeah, we had one in our neighborhood. Everybody loved the fucking guy.
Yeah.
You'd see him walk. I was from a little smaller town, but like you'd see him in like Jewel and shit on the Wheat, which is our grocery store out here, and he was known as the hot dog guy in town only because he gave out hot dogs on Halloween once a year.
Yeah, it's a good. It would definitely be a good miscellaneous for sure. Obviously, we left a lot of good movies out. The Strangers. It's my one of my favorites, I should say. Texas Chainsaw. It. Nightmare on Elm Street. I had Disney Princesses. That's a nice little wrinkle when a crew of girls walk in like that. That's nice.
I don't know if anybody's ever seen this one, but The Legends of Sleepy Hollow.
Ichabod
Great
Crane.
movie. Yeah, with Ichabod Crane. There was a Johnny Depp rendition probably about 15 or 18 years ago.
It's on Netflix
That was really
right now.
good.
I like. I appreciate the Monster Mash. It's a good song.
Yeah. Did you ever do the one where you could mash it up on the computer?
It was a mash.
It
And
was
you-
the monster
You could like put your
mash.
friends' faces on it.
I don't think so, but that's just like it's such a funny song.
I was gonna draft a slutty coronavirus for miscellaneous. Would that have been allowed?
Is that going to be a thing?
I mean, not in Illinois because the next 2 weeks are locked down again. So
true. Well, all right. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah,
That's
just be a better commissioner, Ed.
Fuck you, Dave. Smitty, thanks for joining us. Call, thanks for the draft, Dave. I guess thank you. That's it, everybody. We will see you again tomorrow.